What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for getting on that subscription button. We hit 18,000 before this video, which means when we dropped our last video and some of you were that close, you guys jumped on it. Really appreciate all of you, especially all of you who've been commenting, because now we are over 18,000 subscribers. And for those of you who want even more access, earlier access, cool stuff, we also have Patreon. You can subscribe to it for as little as a cup of coffee. So links down in the description. Without further ado, today we are diving into the series finale of Dexter, Original Sin. And boy, did we get some answers. And a whole lot of Brian.
And we got some things wrong too.
Oh, we definitely got some things wrong and a few things right. Many of you who commented, a lot of people comment on this particular series and Silo and some others that we do. But this one gets a lot of comments. You guys have a lot of great theories, and many of you were very close on some things. And some of us, myself included, we're way off. But I'm really excited to dive into all that with you guys today. So go ahead, start commenting below, and we're gonna dive in.
Yeah, totally thought that it wasn't gonna be Dexter who killed him.
Yeah, I mean, we even thumbnailed that on the video. Yeah, for sure. No, just the way everything had been playing out, the fact that Dexter didn't get to technically get his third kill until after, because it was like a vehicular manslaughter, so it didn't count, right? I thought maybe he was going to have another mishap like that, where it ended up being Harry who had to kill him, or something else happened. But no, it was just a cat and mouse little chase, just so we can get, Nikki back. And then after that, Dexter goes right back to his ways.
And Clark had nothing to do with anything.
Clark had nothing to do with anything yet.
Yes.
Brian's still out and about, as we knew he would be. And we still have to have a reason for
His character.
not necessarily his character, but we gave him a lot of time and attention. He has a name and a backstory. And I can see how he could directly tie to a very important main character who has not shown up yet, who we have talked about theories about in the past. So I really do think that he's going to be the catalyst for why we see Doak show up on this particular series. But I was wrong 100% in that it was going to be part of the series finale. Clark didn't even get seen in the series finale. It was more a Brian-Harry standoff, which I knew Harry was going to let him go somehow. I thought he was just going to, as a cop, push away the evidence. I didn't realize it was going to go as far as, pulling guns and cracking skulls and shit.
I kind of, it was the most important scene of the whole episode, the conversation between Brian and Harry. Mm-hmm. And I was just disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, he's better for me. I'm better for him. No, I am. No.
I don't think at any point Brian said he was better for Dexter.
No, but that's what it felt like to me, is they're vying over control of who gets to be in his life.
See, what I received from that conversation is that all of them are monsters. And it's how the actions that they take and in circumstances that they are put through that ultimately dictates the severity of that monster, right? So, and even at the end, when Harry has the opportunity to let Dexter know, no, you weren't born a monster. This is something that happened to you, and you've clearly are finding ways to harness and move past it and actually nurture him into something. He's like, no, you were born a monster, because he's more scared about himself being exposed and what he's his truths being exposed and Dexter's path coming up than anything else. And so I think I saw that conversation a little bit different. I didn't see it necessarily as parental, we do better for him and we do better for him. I saw it more as showing us as the viewer that, one, Brian was created into a monster, and two, everybody that we've been looking at all are a degree of monsters, even Harry.
Oh, everyone's got a little bad in them.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But you were saying that you weren't born, or he was born into it to protect himself.
Yeah.
That wasn't with Brian. That was with Dexter.
Right. So in the end of this episode, he's talking to his Dexter. No. In the end of the episode, he's talking to Dexter, and he has the opportunity to kind of right that wrong. Mm-hmm. But instead, he just doubles down, and he's like, "No, yeah, you were definitely born a monster."
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was missing something because I thought you were still talking about Brian there and Harry.
No, my bad. No.
It kind of blended in together.
I did say a lot in a short period of time.
So I was a little concern there, but he even got acknowledgement with the blood written on the door. Pretty much that you're right.
Well, I think that was Brian's admission of the fact that, like, if Dexter would have came with him, they both just would have been lost and crazy.
Yeah.
But it looks like on the outside that at least Dexter is somewhat stable and somewhat adapting and conforming to society, even though we know as the viewer he's struggling greatly with that.
Yeah. And Deb got accepted into Police Academy.
Yeah.
Obviously because of her name, but yeah, she mentioned it.
I mean, we saw that the whole tee up from the Geo breakup to the last episode with the mentorship with Tanya,
Like the blood drive.
for the blood drive. All of that was walking her towards, and then obviously wanting to have more time with her brother. She mentions it multiple times in this episode that having her brother gone more is something that she's hurting from. And so, yeah, we saw this coming, and that was one thing we did get right. Deb is definitely, we knew, obviously.
Yeah.
Couldn't get that one wrong.
Can't count that. So Spencer, it felt super anticlimactic because it was such a slow and gradual buildup, and then it's done in an episode and a half.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of answers, which is great. Got confirmation of theory, right? One, he is willing to hurt and kill Nikki because he does not believe Nikki is his. This is absolutely motivated 100% by a man pushed too far, by a woman who lied to him for 17 years, used him, cheated on him, toyed with his heart. So yeah, the dude broke and like went complete psycho there at the end, which is weird because he was so good at acting, so good at pretending, so good at playing that, like, for him to go full unhinged, I thought was an interesting choice for the writers. But it had to happen, right? He had to get killed off somehow, so we had to see something.
It's like we got to squeeze all this last little bit into the final episode.
Yeah, it did seem rushed and anticlimactic. I did love that, you know, another nod to the boat, another nod to him getting into his like rhythm of how he's going to do things. Yeah, I thought the conversation with the captain was like, Yeah, I mean, there was the one part where he's like showing the knife and it's like Patrick Dempsey's face, but his eyes, and he's talking. And like that was like kind of cool. But other than that, it was like, all right. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think it could have been, you know, a little bit more? Or do you feel anticlimactic to you as well? A little rushed even, right?
So, quick question. The kid,
Nikki, the young kid that got his finger cut off that lived? Yeah.
he is the captain's son, isn't he?
So the captain says,
I know what he says, but the thing that brings me to it is the whole reason Dexter got on to the captain was it was the same blood type.
yeah, but you and I got the same blood type and we're not related.
Well, I thought when they were talking about that, they were referring to the same genetic, like,
That's why. So I thought the same thing at first, but they actually mention it in that episode that's here or there because I think he even says you and I could have the same blood type.
oh, okay.
So it's not. Yeah,
I'm reading too much into that then.
yeah. I don't think they did like a full DNA test, like to see like how many markers match up. It was just you're A positive and he's A positive. These blood types are both A positive kind of thing.
Yeah, that's more so what I'm A positive.
Okay.
I aced my exam.
All right. No, but I ultimately do believe that we got confirmation. Let me know, maybe I missed it. You know, maybe I misread the whole conversation, but I think we got confirmation in the boat that the son, he truly believes the son's not his, and that the whole affair like ruined his life. The kid's not his. He's been living this life forever. And I think that ultimately, you know, is the reason for the motive behind everything he's doing. And we got that confirmation, yeah.
But back to that end conversation with Harry and Dexter when you were saying how he doubled down.
Yeah.
So in that kind of rewrote a lot of the stuff in the mythology, didn't it?
What do you mean? Why do you say that?
Because we see Harry as like this guy who knows what's best for Dexter all the time and not selfish. Maybe it's because he's older and wiser in the later series. I don't know. But we got to see a very flawed Harry here.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I agree that we are watching as they kind of develop into the characters that we get to know. So yes, there's a lot of bumps in the road and a lot more experience when we see them later. So I'm sure that's definitely playing into it. But I I almost thought that like that was a nod to later, because in that scene he's basically like, hey, I didn't listen to you. I went and did it anyway, but I followed our code and our code led me here. And then Harry almost goes like, hey, it's not even my code anymore. It's your code, right? Like you own this. Like this.
Yeah, you have the boy.
You have better judgment than I do in this. Yeah. And so I almost like, that's why I was like, interesting. I wondered how, because I didn't like really see Harry be selfish with it or try to like manipulate Dexter into doing it for like Harry's reasons or doing more of what Harry wanted. It was always just trying to like keep any safeguards he could on what could be Brian versus what is Dexter, right?
What I was referring to is the whole born with it thing. You are born this way. And that's what I meant by being selfish.
That 100%, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the code part. No,
The code's always been like the mythos that keeps him on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Well, kinda.
right.
About as straight and narrow as you can be as a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about this season more than anything is that it shows us that most monsters are created, not born, regardless of what they've been told. And
A lot of it's trauma related.
a lot of it's trauma related. Yeah, absolutely.
Which means there's a way to get past it.
I mean, what happens in most cases, is, I would believe, is exactly how ChatGPT wrote this episode. It's,
Is that what that's?
it's going to be the running joke from now on since you said it. But anyway,
It's just going to be what happens when we find something lazy or
I did it.
less quality. It's AI's fault.
But that's the thing, right? Like a parent is going through something in their life where they're less than qualified to be a parent at that time, and either goes to incarcerated or dies or gets killed. And then this kid gets washed into a system where it doesn't care about them. And now they're dealing with young bullies. Maybe they watched the parent die like in Dexter. And so you get like, you get this thing that the society, the system that builds it.
I just realized this is not going to be good for us in the future when AI is scanning everything and starts putting people in internment camps.
We're going to be the first ones locked up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right.
So all in all, though, I wish they could have did a little bit more on this last episode, but I can't complain about the other episodes at all.
No, I think they did a really good job casting this entire series.
That's what I was going to.
The acting, I don't know. I would say like the acting was like top notch. Like these guys, like I would put them up for an Oscar.
They filled their roles.
That's what I was gonna say. They matched the characters they were supposed to emulate really well.
Yes.
I would, if you were to have me watch Dexter now without ever seeing it before, I would automatically connect these characters without any help. And I think they did a really good job of like making those connections for everybody and making it seem like they're just younger versions.
I was worried about Christian Slater being in the role of Harry. Not because I think he's a bad actor. I think he's an awesome actor. Mm-hmm. I was worried because he's such a good actor and known actor that he wasn't going to fill the part of Harry that we knew from the original series. But I have to say I was really wrong, and I'm grateful that I was wrong for that because I think he did an overall really good job for his role.
Yeah.
Even the Deb thing. I still think she's the only one who doesn't look the most like who she plays later. But even her, she did really good job with Deb.
Yeah, I think, getting someone who's not related or a younger sister to look almost identical as someone is probably going to be pretty hard. But the mannerisms, the speech patterns, like the way someone will react, I think that really...
But fucking Angel looks spot on.
For sure. But that's the thing, like, you can probably do that once or twice, but to get an entire cast... Right, once or twice. I don't even, like, I think that's...
Dexter
doesn't look like Dexter.
He looks like he could be the younger Dexter.
The way they crop his hair and the context they put in definitely make him... It's the way, I'm telling you, it's the way they move, it's the way they speak, and it's the way they react to things that they have studied those characters and they understand and can emulate that. Otherwise, the looks aren't that uncanny, with the exception of Angel, who is just like almost a younger version. But that's what I want to do. I wanted to give credit to the cast because that part of it, being able to show up and portray a character who was already been portrayed for years to millions of people and then show up as that person and be believable, that's a nod, right? Like, great job.
What kind of insecurity would go into that?
Well, I couldn't even tell it. I mean,
That'd be wild, though.
you gotta think though, like, you and I aren't
Live up to it.
Yeah, but you and I aren't actors, right? So we're not constantly switching who we are or like taking on a new personality or a new role. And I got to think that even watching like improv and stuff, you almost have to get rid of all of that. Like the inhibition, the what's we're looking for? Like the overall care of what other people think, right? You have to get rid of that thought and really just go for what feels good to you and what would be your version of the thing. And whether that works or not, like that's acting, right? And then you get feedback and you can adjust course. But I think if you bring you into it, it's kind of where we fail because we have insecurities and fears that probably the character we're playing does not.
Okay.
But I'm no actor, right? I'm a talking head on YouTube. I do marketing. I can get in people's heads that way, but that's about it.
You know James Spader, right?
Yeah.
He played...
Strong.
Yeah, but he was also the original Doctor in Stargate, the movie, with Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Oh, the reason I'm bringing that up is he obviously didn't play in the series, just like Kurt Russell didn't play the same character in the series. That was Richard Dean Anderson who played the Kurt Russell character. But the person who played James Spader only got the role because he was able to emulate him so much and so well. So it took until like a couple seasons later, the directors or writers and everything were like, you know what? I think it's time for you to be yourself and really embody this character for how you would do it. And we just slowly transitioned to that. So he got a haircut, became his own person, and just started acting more like him versus the James Spader way of acting like the character. And he took on the role himself.
That's cool.
Sorry, I thought that related, so.
It's a fun fact.
Yeah, I like Stargate. And we were talking about AI, so that didn't help.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Stargate program that's going to be in Texas is them doing their best to make an AI that's self-aware. So that's full circle how everything linked in my brain.
And that's how your brain works. Got it.
A bunch of linking random shit.
Yeah.
All right. I look forward to see what they do with the next one.
Yeah. You know, making all the connections with Brian, I want to give a nod to a lot of our viewers and commenters because a lot of your theories on Brian, you know, there's many of you who said, hey, did you guys catch Brian asking for the chair in the early on, episode 1, right? Episode 1 or 2. You guys caught it. I personally missed that. And then they showed it again in the finale just to kind of confirm that that really was happening and playing out that whole timeline. And then a lot of you also connected many of the dots with Brian, especially before we did. So I just want to give you guys a lot of credit for sleuthing that out and also commenting and sharing your opinions.
And they gave real clear answers for why those other victims were Brian's victims and not the cop Clark.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more of Tanya mentoring Deb in season 2. I think we will see Clark ultimately get killed by Brom 1. And that will be
the whole virus that he thinks he may have.
Or, yeah, HIV might kill him. Or, yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen there. But ultimately, I think that's also, we've got some pretty cool characters coming in on season 2. And we're going to watch as Dexter really hones in how he does his process. Because now he's got a good system, you know, and he's got the green light from Harry. So,
and the boat.
And a boat that he can use whenever he wants. So season 2, I think we're really going to see Dexter come into his own and start to be the Dexter that we got to see in Showtime. Really appreciate you guys coming with us all the way to the end of the video. It means the world to Liam and I that you guys are here, that you're subscribing to the channel, that you're commenting below, engaging with us. We love watching TV. We love watching these series. We love talking about them, but we really love sharing them with you. And it's been an amazing journey so far, and we can't wait to keep on going with you guys. So thank you. And as always, my name is Chris. With me,
Liam.
And if you're really enjoying these videos, we have an entire playlist for this first season of Dexter Original Sin right here. You can check it out if you have not already. If you have already and you want to check out something else, I have an entire playlist of other really cool stuff that we reviewed. You can check it out right here. Otherwise, we have something really cool above my head you could check out. If you have not already subscribed, go ahead and do so and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single video. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on that video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.